thought that Sora might be part of the Doctor Who universe? If not, stick around because I think the evidence is more convincing than you might believe.
You have McGann, the fangirl. Make sure you subscribe and check back every week for new fandom videos. Hopefully everyone watching this video is familiar with both Doctor Who and Kingdom Hearts, but to do a little refresher for both, Doctor Who is a British series where the main character is an alien being that goes all over time and space trying to do good. Sure, there's a lot of occasions where he, or now she, leaves things a little worse than he, she, they found it, but the Doctor's alignment is definitely lawful good. The series has been going on since the 60s, and when an actor is ready to leave the show, the writers creatively handle that with regeneration! That's where the Doctor becomes a whole new person with a new personality, but he's still the same old Gallifreyan on the inside. Kingdom Hearts is a long-running, extremely popular video game franchise where Final Fantasy meets Disney. We almost always play as Sora, a young boy who has to travel to different worlds, most of which are Disney-themed, and he has to right whatever wrongs the Heartless, which are these demon-like shadow monsters, are causing to each respective world. Most levels have a formula where you show up in the middle of the movie's storyline and then assist the main character to get back on track for their happily ever after. And it occurred to me that Sora doesn't just jump into different Disney worlds, he's actually going into different timelines as well. If you've ever seen the Disney timeline I'm making on Facebook, a lot of the Disney films can be connected as existing in the same timeline, like when we see Rapunzel and Frozen. But those movies are set in different centuries. So how does Sora have the ability to travel not just across space, but across time as well? And for that matter, what are the odds that Sora would just happen to arrive in the middle of every movie? For the most part, when Sora comes in, the plotline of the movie has already started, but then the Heartless show up and ruin things to where Sora must intervene to seal that world off and get the plot back where it needs to go so that the ending is still the same. Guys, these levels are all fixed points in time! Okay, for the non-Whovians, a fixed point in time is an event in history that has to happen or else the universe unravels. So every time that Sora shows up and gets a storyline back on track, he's ensuring that the fixed point in time, like Mulan winning the war, or Clayton being stopped in Tarzan, doesn't get disrupted. Straight up, Sora is a Time Lord. Now, I know he's missing a screwdriver, but that's not standard Time Lord issue. Missy's device, a contraption owned by a different Time Lord, could vaporize people. So there's tons of room for different technology. And I'm not saying that Sora is the Doctor, but he could be another one of his kind, the Gallifreyans, out there in the universe. If we think about it, a screwdriver's purpose is to sort of help the plot progress, because it can do just about anything as long as it's not on wood. And even though the Keyblade is a fierce weapon, the true purpose of a Keyblade is to keep other worlds safe from harm by sealing them off from evildoers. Well, okay, that might not be the true purpose because there's like a bajillion Keyblades floating around out there, but that is definitely Sora's purpose with the Keyblade. Also, isn't it funny that the Gummy Ship is this super strange device that can travel around timelines and dimensions? Even when you're not going through ports to new areas, you still have multiple worlds and timelines that really shouldn't be anywhere near each other. I mean, TARDIS, anyone? And before you say the Gummy Ship can't be a TARDIS because the TARDIS in Doctor Who makes a different noise, don't forget that River Song told us it only makes that sound because the Doctor leaves the brake on. That is not a healthy, normal sound. And just look at how the Gummy Ship travels in Kingdom Hearts 3. If that's not a Doctor Who wormhole through time and space, I don't know what is. If I haven't won you over yet, let's talk about Sora's parents. Oh, that's right, we really can't because even though Sora wakes up in a bed during the first game, we see no hint of any family living with him. In fact, Sora spends the entire series obsessing over Kairi and Riku, and never once has a word to spare about his mother or father, even though he's about 12 when he's thrusted into this journey, so they should be a huge part of his life still. Not to mention, Sora lives right next to Destiny Beach, which is the one place in his reality that connects all other worlds together. How could the Keyblade Master be a kid that happens to be so conveniently located to Ground Zero? I think there's more to this than meets the eye, and Sora being a Time Lord is definitely one way to explain it. He regenerated with basically no memories of who he was all alone, he was scared, he started clinging to local kids to make companions for himself, and he made a new life while forgetting who he was. Time Lords do age, but they will regenerate if their body takes enough damage. Isn't it weird that so much of Sora's story is about regeneration? And perhaps the most convincing evidence of all is Roxas. The Nobodies are such a strange concept, and they come about after someone else becomes a Heartless, so they're pretty much like what's left over. Roxas was created because Sora released his heart to save Kairi. Even though Sora's heart gets restored, Roxas is already out in the world and not going back. And Roxas looks like Roxas because of some reincarnation kind of stuff. It's really confusing, so I'm not going to get fully into that today. But what's also bizarre is that Sora was able to restore himself from his Heartless form so quickly, almost like his heart was never really destroyed. I mean, the game kind of acts like Kairi does that with her spirit or true love or whatever, but if she had that power, why wasn't she fixing the other Heartless or in the final Ansem battles to help anyone else? I don't think she was the real factor in that change. Then consider that Nomine tells Roxas that recombining with Sora won't make him disappear, it will make him whole. But how does that work? If Sora's heart is fine, it's already been restored. How does he take on a secondary heart within Roxas? And Kingdom Hearts 3 definitely confirms that there are two hearts inside of Sora, so what the what? And sure, Sora's a special case and all, but you have a good heart. You're just gonna suck away this other guy's life to have an extra big heart? Or, oh wait, what species do we know that has two hearts? Time Lords! Sora went from being a Heartless to a human again quickly because he had two hearts, so there was always an extra to spare. Hey, we even found out that Sora was carrying around Kairi's heart in his chest, like that's some normal, realistic thing to hinge a plot line on. Yet, Kairi wasn't dead, so maybe she has some Gallifreyan DNA in her veins too. Hey, who's to say? Maybe all the characters who have nobodies are or used to be Gallifreyans. It might not be reality, but I'm enough of a fangirl to name my own daughter Kairi, so yeah, I take my fandom seriously.
Fan mail, shout out. Fan mail, shout out.
I owe a shout out today to Christine from Higbee, Missouri, who sent me this really adorable fan art and confetti. And not just any confetti, like little cat hole punchy confetti. I am obsessed. Thank you so much, Christine. I appreciate you and I love you. And I'm so glad to hear those fangirl goodies got to you okay. Thank you again. And if you'd like to mail me something, I have my P.O. Box address on my main channel page in the About section. I'm not going to put it in the video in case it changes in the future, but it will be in the About section on my channel page on YouTube, so thank you. Well, that's all I have for now, but this video's not quite over yet. I get a lot of comments that say, do a theory on this topic, but I've already done those theories. So please consider going to my main channel page and clicking on the video tab so that way you can see everything I've done. You will probably find a lot of things you like that you never even knew that I posted. I want to let you know that I also have two other channels, Say Halo Goodbye Gaming and the Fanily Family Vlogs. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed enough to hit subscribe and share. I can use all the help I can get to let other people know that this channel exists. And if you made it this far, leave me a comment that says something like, hey, I made it to the end, and then let me know what kind of videos you want to see in the future. I can't make any promises, but the more people that request something, the more I can look into it. Okay, well, I love you. I'll see you in the next video.